is High School Hoops, presented by Allied Services.
Welcome inside Dunmore High School. We're in Lackawanna County. Tonight, it's a Lackawanna League Division III matchup as Riverside takes on Dunmore. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to Allied Services High School Hoops here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me tonight, he played, he coached, he even refereed Mr. Matt Schaefer. And Matt, last two games of the regular season coming up for both teams. Riverside has an outside shot of winning Division III.
That's right. They can control whether or not they win the next two. The most important thing, they need to get a little help, and they need Holy Cross to lose two in a row. If they do, then they end up in a tie for first place.
Let's talk about the Vikings. They lost to Holy Cross on Sunday, but Michael Rickard, he went off for 31 points against the Crusaders. He's our Toyota Spotlight player.
That's right. Mike Rickard's a 5'11" sharpshooter junior. He leads a trio of backcourt guys that will shoot from anywhere. He's only 19 points shy of 1,000. He's averaging 17 points a game, and he can take over at any point.
For Dunmore, they have been plagued by injuries this year. Tommy Doherty, the senior, had to step up his game. He's our other Toyota Spotlight player.
That's right. It's an emotional night. It's senior night. We just watched 25 seniors. Tommy Doherty was one of them. He's got the heart of a champion. He's going to try to lead Dunmore all the way back. He scores 12 points a game. He does it inside. He does it outside. They need a big game from Tommy Doherty tonight.
Well, we talked to both coaches. They sent us our keys to the game. Matt, let's start with the Vikings first.
That's right. The Vikings need to make sure that they protect the paint, and they're on the road. And it's tough to make shots, but if they can hit a couple shots on the road, they've got a good shot at winning. For Dunmore, they need to make sure that they can control the backcourt. They need to limit Reed and Rickard. Both can go off at any point. And then defensively, they need to make sure that they use what size they have to control the boards.
Well, we're expecting a good game here at Dunmore. It's the Vikings and the Bucks starting lineups, and the opening tip are on the way. You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops.
You're watching High School Hoops, presented by Allied Services.
Here are your Figure Law Firm starting lineups for the Vikings. 13-7 coming in. Winners of 7 of their last 8. It will be Reed and Rickard, and Hinachi and Monahan, all guards, just one forward, Colin Neese. That's your starting lineup for the Vikings under the direction of Josh Aniska. For Dunmore, your Figure Law Firm starting lineup looks like this. Again, 4 guards and a forward, Borgia, Ruggiero, Cowder, Doherty, and Temporino. They're your starting lineups for the 8-12 Dunmore Bucks. Referees, Mike Amory, Tony Blazier, Mark Heiss. We are underway here at Dunmore in this Division III matchup. Rickard jumping against Neese, controlled by the Vikings.
Vikings are going to look to get out early. Ball's in Reed's hands. Excuse me, Antonacci's hands.
This is Reed.
Now we're to Reed.
Took a little hop, and it's going to go
It's
over
a
to
charge.
the Bucks.
15 seconds in, we have a player control foul. That's a good defensive effort by the Bucks to start. Tough one because that's Reed's first.
There are your referees again in the Lackawanna League. Tony Blazier making that call. So Reed picks up an early foul. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Second leading scorer, actually leading scorer on this team.
Nice take by Ruggiero.
Both teams will settle in. Second meeting of the year. Again, just 2 games left in the Lackawanna League. Back out to Brandon Reed, the junior, averaging 17.9 points per game.
Obviously, what Riverside wants to do is play through its guards, especially Mike Rickard. But what you're seeing Dunmore come out with is Borgia's going to face guard Rickard the whole time, but it's going to open up the lane for a drive by Mike Antonacci.
Back come the Bucks, averaging 49.5 points per game on the season. There's Doherty, gets the bank to go in.
Nice take.
Last game these two teams played, Dunmore struggled a little bit early on. It was a low scoring game. We'll have to see if it plays out the same tonight.
The other thing you want to think about is Riverside's coming off a real hard-fought game on Sunday afternoon. Typically in high school basketball, you get about 2 days rest. Riverside's coming off a hard-fought game, one night rest, and they're playing essentially back against the wall to be able to get themselves a division championship.
There is Josh Aniska, 7 years in as assistant. Or Mike Morgan, he did play at Riverside. It's his second season. Borgia's banker no good. Back comes Reed and the Vikings. Vikings averaging 59.4 points per game on this season. Last win came against Lakeland 2 games ago, 68-44. And as I said, they've won 7 of 8. So
they had a really nice streak.
Yep.
They were right around 500. Went on a little run.
Push underneath against Cowder will be his first foul.
Foul on number 35, Ian Cowder.
2 minutes in, scores 2-2.
This is Reed, who's had some nice games as of late.
Riverside will try to run everything through Reed and Rickard.
Nice
give them
dish.
the opportunity to handle the ball.
Monahan lays it in off the dish from Reed. Cowder to Borgia, trying to look inside to Temporino. Neither team is gifted with height.
No. This game could be played very much at the three-point line.
And on cue, Tommy Doherty rings a 3, his 22nd on the season.
We should see a lot of three-pointers go up this evening. Both teams, too.
Absolutely. Between Rickard and Reed, they have 85 on the season.
Here's another one.
Rickard downtown, Michael Rickard.
3 for Michael Rickard.
That's what you're going to see. He exploded the other night against Holy Cross.
31, and looked good doing it. He just shot the ball lights out. Nice take by Temporino. Doesn't wait, goes right to the hole.
We're tied at 7. Back and forth they go. Brandon Reed had 28 against Holy Cross in their first meeting. Last time against Dunmore, he put in 27. Deep 3 for the forward, Nice.
3 for
Colin
Colin Canese.
Canese with the kick out 3. Go to the other side, another 3.
Ruggiero.
This one by Ruggiero.
Oh, great.
I mean, that's 3 threes in a row, right?
Yeah.
Borgia hitting Mike Amory into the students. We know Borgia's the quarterback on the football team, the safety. I think he laid his shoulder into the ref. He's all right.
Couple of the local youth sports boys over there took that one. Just pretending they're taking a charge. My man Nathan Avilas.
They're giving him a little bit of a break. We're taking a couple seconds to catch his breath.
I don't know who took the worst. Yeah, Mike took the worst.
Yeah, Mike did, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Frankie Antonacci, the 5'11 freshman who's played very well into the game for Riverside, number 25. Ooh, Rickard hammered from behind by Borgia.
Late whistle. Pretty easy call, but a late whistle. Good call, though. Here you go. Goes to the basket.
Foul call on number 20, Steve
Boy, he hit Rickard harder than he hit Amory, though.
So this puts Rickard at the line, 80% on the year.
Riverside shoots the ball well from the free throw line as well.
73% on the year, Matt.
It's pretty good. Most teams in the high school level are high 50s, if not worse, but traditionally you'll see a good shooting team in the mid 60s.
Rickard down to 14 for 1,000. Inside of Temporino, or excuse me, Doherty.
Doherty will go inside, he'll go outside. You've seen him already. He took the ball to the hole on a drive, spotted up in the corner for a 3, and he's now posted up. It's nice to have that versatility on the court.
Kevin Clark, the first-year coach at Dunmore, calling out the play. Ruggiero into the lane, a little floater. Here comes Antonacci back the other way, Michael Antonacci.
Oh, good look.
Canese downtown, almost 2 for him. Nice turnaround by Cowder, no good, goes out of bounds, and that'll be our first timeout of the night. 3:19 remaining, 2-point lead for the Vikings here in Dunmore.
Media timeout.
Nice matchup tonight between Reed and Borgia.
That's right. Brandon Reed is a 5'8" junior guard for Riverside, averages 17 a game. In the first meeting, he dropped 27 against Dunmore. For Dunmore, we got Steve Borgia, 5'11" senior. That is a defensive stalwart here. He'll shoulder most of the defensive load, especially when it comes to trying to shut down the hot shooting Mike Rickard.
As you mentioned, great guard play tonight on both teams. And you like the pace so far, Matt?
I do. I think in high school, anytime you can get up and down. The nice thing is you've also got a short court. When you look at the size of the high school courts, Dunmore is actually one of the shorter high school courts.
Foul away from the ball. So Kenise picks up a foul, his first, team second. Temporino thought about it, back out to Ruggiero, got it!
That's his second three of the game already. Came in with 37 threes on the season.
Yeah, both of these teams are relying on the outside shot. How will that play, you think, in the districts when both teams get into the 3A?
Well, it's tough. You got to play to your strengths, and right now they don't have a strength with size. That's not one of your strengths for either one of these teams. So if you can be quick, you can play defense, and you can score from the outside consistently, then that's the way that you have to win, and that's the way that both teams have kind of built themselves down the stretch here. Borgia with a three.
And it's raining threes, his sixth on this season. Both teams playing well. There's the last meeting at Riverside just a couple weeks ago.
Ooh. Way downtown. Heat check.
Riverside won 55-48.
Doherty playing bully ball. He's tough to guard.
He has 7 points already, so scoreboard lighting up here in the first quarter. Already 32 points on the board combined.
It's great. Score. Just keep scoring.
Dunmore would like to get a little momentum as they're going to go into districts sub 500.
You know, it's tough. Riverside is hot now, so obviously they're hot at the right time of the year. But it's tough. You know, they're going to be undersized against most of the teams that are going to play in the district. Backcourt here. Turns it over to Dunmore. Dunmore's up 4.
Senior night here for the Bucks. They're playing motivation. Very motivated tonight. Both teams shooting a high percentage. Cowder, back of the rim. There's a foul on Borgia.
I believe that's his second foul, though.
Matt, yeah.
That's a tough one because he's been your guy you're trying to keep on Rickard.
Both teams have a short bench. Here it is.
Yep. Pretty easy one. You're going to bring a freshman off the bench. Nico Ruggiero comes in. Looks like Ruggiero is going to draw the task of guarding Mike Rickard.
It's a little bit of a size advantage for Rickard. Let's see if he tries to post him. Ganachi to Reed. Reed one-on-one. Ganachi in the lane, off balance. He's got it.
Ganachi's playing well, too.
He is
6 points early.
Still a 2-point game.
Ball gets swung around. That's the right guy to have it in his hands. Tommy Doherty's a good player. Can see the court. Ruggiero's on fire right now, though.
3 threes. We thought Rickard would be nailing, but Frankie with 9 and a foul out front on the freshman Nico Ruggiero, his first.
Foul on number 31, Nico Ruggiero, his first.
Here's a little replay of the kick out. Catch and shoot by Frankie Ruggiero. He's playing well, shooting well first quarter here. Here's the nice part for Riverside, though. If they're going to face guard Rickard at half court, Brendan Reed can take over as well. One of the things you see that Riverside's doing is they run almost a 5-out type of offense, and what that allows is the drives. And if you drive and you pick someone up, you drive and kick. Once you kick, they've got shooters all over the court.
That's what they did in the first game. They basically face guarded him the whole game. He had He only had 10 against Dunmore the last meeting, the Ricker. So it's obviously the strategy for Kevin Clark.
30-second timeout by the Dunmore bench.
Yeah, they're playing well, very motivated, 5-point lead.
30-second timeout, Dunmore.
Both teams shooting a high percentage of field goals, especially from beyond the arc.
That's right.
Riverside came in with 116 threes, 110 for Dunmore.
Dunmore's got 5 early. Riverside has 2. Dunmore's up 5.
Why call that as timeout?
You want to make sure that you go into the second quarter with momentum, confidence. You want to make sure that you're taking a shot here less than 5 seconds. You don't want to give Riverside an outlet option. It's a short court. Any of the 3 backcourt guys for Riverside can hit a shot from a step inside the half-court line. So Dunmore wants to make sure that they're disciplined on their offensive set here and score.
Any ill effects you think for Riverside coming off of a day's rest?
Yeah,
Not yet, is there?
Yeah, you know, they're a step slow defensively. And it essentially what they're getting beat at is their own game. Oh!
So 6 3-pointers has the Bucks ahead of the Vikings by 8 as we head to quarter number 2 here at Allied Services High School Hoops.
High School Hoops is brought to you by Sports Therapy Rehab at Allied Services. Whether you're a high school star or a weekend warrior, our therapists can get you back in the game. Call 888-REHAB-PA or search sports medicine online at allied-services.org.
Back at Dunmore High School, Bob Ide, Matt Schaefer, Allied Services High School Hoops. We have a good one so far here in the Lackawanna League. The Bucks beating the Vikings.
Yeah, so far off to a good first quarter for Dunmore. They shot the ball fantastic. 6 threes. Oh, now you see Riverside come out with a trap off the first pass. Nice take, though. Tommy Doherty's playing fantastic. Another great take to the hole.
Yep, Doherty with 9 leading scorers so far for the Bucks. The biggest lead of the night for either team.
Riverside's going to stick to their game, though. They're going to keep trying to kick it out and hit threes. They shoot the ball well. Both teams do. Dunmore's off to a torrid pace.
Yeah, Dunmore will get Holy Cross just up the road here in Dunmore on Friday.
Counter with a nice take.
Yeah,
that's a backyard rivalry. I've refereed that game before. Fantastic, tough game. Got a full timeout by Riverside. You got to stop the bleeding here. Riverside's down 12 at this point. You got a nice take baseline, Tommy Doherty. That gives Doherty 9 on the game. Josh Aniska wants to stop the bleeding here. He wants to calm everybody down. You got to forget about the loss on Sunday. Get refocused here. You can close the gap and win still. But as Riverside looks ahead, they've got to finish this one before, as you see on the screen.
Yeah, rivalry
they
game.
Look ahead to a rivalry game with Old Forge.
Yep. And as I said before, the Bucks go up the road to play the Crusaders, and a lot at stake as we head to districts next week for both of these teams. They'll be in the tournament of 8 in 3A, very competitive league. Tournament should be very competitive in all classifications this year in District 2 as we head towards the arena.
I agree. And you know, you don't really see, on the girls' side, you see a couple teams that are just much better and they stand out. You don't see it on the boys' side. You see a lot of teams that can win on any given night. Abington Heights could run the table, make a deep state run. Prep could run the table, make a deep state run. Valley View could run the table, make a deep state run. If the Vikings stay hot in districts, they could make a run. It's the beauty of playing basketball in the Lackawanna League. District
Rickert
2.
Downtown, no good, off the mark. He was moving a little bit to his left on the catch.
Probably his best look at the hoop, though.
This is where Riverside has to get back to it on the defensive end. It was out of bounds.
Going to see some size. Really, Dunmore's only real size come into the game now.
Yep.
That's Tyler Majeski.
Yep. And Majeski's played well at points this year. Against Scranton Prep in the Lina tournament, probably his best game in a couple years. He scored 16 against the Cavaliers, who have some size inside. Cowder no good. Rickard the rebound. Pick from the Vikings.
High screen. Good defense, though.
Riverside hasn't scored in a while, Matt.
They haven't. And I think that was part of the reason that Josh called the timeout.
In and out of the hands as Mercado is still fighting for the ball.
Great hustle.
Like a football game here. Mercado dives and goes over to the Bucks.
Number 15, Todd Monahan, returning for Riverside.
Mercado will take a seat. Monahan's back in. Monahan's a great story as well. 5'10 junior that'll kind of do whatever he has to do, not only to get on the court, but also just to give his team a shot to win.
A little bit of strategy for the Vikings. They're going to double team the ball. Macheski with a big board. And the freshman will pull it back out, set it up. Look at a screen. Back to Ruggiero. No room inside as of yet.
Both teams love the high screen and roll. Gives a lot of options coming downhill. Doherty gets a piece of the ball. Nice hustle by the Riverside guards.
Haven't heard much from Reed yet. He's still scoreless, Brandon Reed. Vikings leading scorer. Ruggiero has him pretty tight. And Antonacci, that's off the mark.
It's Antonacci's first miss. He's played well so far this game as well.
Yeah. Buck's doing a nice job on the boards. Inside of Macheski.
I'd love to see a guy catch the ball in the post and square up. You never know. You know, looked like he had a great opportunity to score.
Against
Comes back
Panisse.
to his right.
Yep.
I like it. That's a great post move, though. Lost art in this game.
Good no call as Monahan lays that one in. And Riverside needed that bucket. That's their first of the second quarter.
They've had a drought since about the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. It's tough to win if you don't score for 6 minutes.
Well, this is what happened to them against Holy Cross. They didn't play well until Rickard exploded in the second half, but it was too late. Antonacci, 2 in a row. Timeout call and Kevin Clark. He didn't like the defense and will stay right here.
I think he's still hot off of Tommy Doherty's post-entry pass. And I think Doherty thought that his big fellow was going to go up and win the point of attack, but he didn't get it.
We talked about the 3A. Seminary, obviously the favorite, defending champs. Lakeland's playing well, but 2 through 7 or 8, anybody's game when it starts next week.
That's right. Seminary's tough, and they've won some tough games against good opponents, even though they're a small school. Lakeland, Redeemer, Riverside, Mid-Valley, any of them could win on any given night.
Especially when you get into, we see the last basket, playing away from home, and you're playing in neutral sites in the district tournament.
That's right. But again, we get to end at the district tournament at the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Game for Dunmore.
Which is not an easy place to shoot.
Nope. We've talked about how well Dunmore's shot so far. Perhaps their best shooter just came in the game, a junior, Aiden Slode. One of the best pure shooters that Dunmore has right now.
First appearance, he's number 4, by the way.
Junior, his father coaches at Penn State Scranton.
So it was a 12-point lead for the Bucks, down to 8. And Dunmore's cooled off a little bit from the 3-point arc, but they've done a nice job on the board. Another chance. Doherty.
Good take. That's great defense, though. That's really good defense. Tommy Doherty's just playing really well. 11 points on the game. But Monahan, a great defense there. Doherty just had a great move.
Dunmore's doing a nice job on the leading scores for the Vikings. Another turnover for Riverside. Under 4 to play in the half. Doherty thought about it. Slowed to the hole. Macheski, easy 2 for him. No one boxed him out. And it's back up to 12. 4 in a row for Dunmore.
I'm impressed with Nico Ruggiero's defense right now.
How much will Rickard press? That's the key. Does he get frustrated? We'll take a timeout. We'll answer that when we come back. The Bucks controlling the pace and controlling the boards. They have a 12-point lead here at Dunmore. It's Allied Services High School Hoops. Nice crowd on hand here in Lackawanna County. We're at Dunmore High School. The Bucks on senior night, leading the Vikings by 12. And what do you like from Dunmore tonight?
Well, they came out in the first quarter and shot the ball well. That put Riverside's back against the wall a little bit here. They haven't shot as well in the second quarter, but neither has Riverside, so it hasn't hurt them yet. Dunmore's played really good defense. They know who they have to defend. They know that Rickard wants to be the scorer and that Reed can be, those two can play Batman and Robin. Antonacci's come out and been the scorer that Riverside's needed in the first. But Tommy Doherty and Frankie Ruggiero have been Dunmore's two best, both playing very well.
Leading scorer for the Vikings, Brandon Reed, scoreless so far, knocked out of bounds. Pemperino had it. So that's a key right there. You're taking the Reed and Rickard out. What can the Vikings do?
And Dunmore's defense can wear down a little bit. You know, I mean, I'm impressed so far that there's my man Aiden Slode, big three.
Slode the junior, 23 on the year. He had 9 the last time these two teams played.
He's a natural shooter off the bench. He's not looking to go to the hoop. I know he went in the first one, but he likes that line.
Sorry, Matt, 15-point lead. Vikings.
Sloppy right now.
Have not played well the last 2 games. Pemperino lays it up and in.
Dunmore's playing well on senior night.
If you look at the records, you think Riverside would be an overwhelming favorite, but the Bucks have played inspirational basketball. Canise forced it a little bit.
Dunmore's looking to run.
Ruggiero downtown, no good. The Bucks trying to follow up what the Lady Bucks did last night down at Riverside, beating the Lady Vikes for the second time this year.
I think Ruggiero just has to go back to the other corner.
Reed.
Banked three.
Bank is open. Maybe that will get Brandon Reed started.
Doesn't matter how it goes in.
Well, 26th 3 on the year for him. Still a 14-point advantage.
Dunmore will be deliberate now. They'll look for their shooters.
Slowed matches.
My man Aiden.
Off the bench. AS from downtown. That's 6.
He's a gym rat. Riverside will try to answer. That's a great area to score from. Brandon Reed knows, all of Riverside knows. They've tried to drive. That's the area they're trying to get to, and they can score from that spot. You got to hope for a couple Dunmore misses, and you got to be very efficient on the offensive side if you're Riverside.
Yeah, not a very good shot by Temperino. Probably want to bring off the clock. Reed trying to hit 3 in a row, excuse me. Antonacci has the lane. Blocked and a foul. Good drive by Antonacci, though.
Very nice. Saw the lane, took it right down. He went downhill. Every time we talk to our younger players, we talk about if you can get to the basket, you want to come downhill. You saw there that Antonacci went from the three-point line to the hoop. One dribble, really hard. Nice strong take, and he's rewarded with 2 free throws.
Very good foul shooter, misses that one. He's 84% on the year. So the buckets aren't falling for Riverside.
Anytime they're not falling, one of the keys is to make sure that every chance you get to score with the clock stopped, you do. So key there is hit your free throws.
Temperino inside, double teamed. Excuse me, Doherty, my bad.
Nice to see Dunmore try to go through the post, though.
They're not afraid. The freshman, Frankie Antonacci.
Averages 2 on the season.
It's his first field goal of the night. Back to a 12-point game. Was up to 17 for Dunmore. They should work the clock now.
You would think Dunmore would want to hold to the last shot. I
Coming
don't
up.
believe Riverside has a foul to give. They do.
Well, they have a
actually.
couple. They only have.
do.
I have 3 for them, right?
There you go.
Freshman lays it up and in. That's a big board going into the break.
It's a big swing.
Maybe some momentum for the Vikings to get back into it. They cut it down to 10, but the Bucks, who had a 17-point lead, go into the break still ahead, 40-30. When we come back at Allied Services High School Hoops, we'll hear from Allied Services, and then Matt and I will be back with stats and highlights from Dunmore.
Don't worry, we're not changing sports to the swimming pool. We'll get back to the basketball court in a few minutes, but halftime gives us a chance to visit the John Hines Aquatic Center on Mundy Street in Wilkes-Barre, and I'm joined by Cheryl Kukinda, a therapist here from the aquatic therapy classes. And this is great because when we think of Allied Services and the John Hines Institute, all kinds of therapy, but aquatic therapy, it actually sounds like fun and not just therapy. So people probably enjoy being in the water.
Oh, they do, especially our pool here. It's a heated pool, about 92 degrees, so it makes it nice and comfortable, helps decrease pain, and makes it a lot easier to move.
And that's year-round. You can get into the swimming pool, get your therapy, splash around, have a little fun. What are some of the advantages to aquatic therapy that you can't get outside the pool?
Oh, the heated pool makes movement so much easier. The buoyancy of the water makes it a lot easier to do the exercises because it helps lift the joints, takes all the pressure off of that. The heat again increases flexibility, increases your circulation, the resistance of the water. When you're exercising, it resists the exercises in every direction. So it's a great strengthening tool. And also the hydrostatic pressure of the water. It's the pressure that's pushing against us. It can increase circulation and it can also decrease swelling. So it's a perfect all-round tool. It's just a safe, comfortable, warm environment to exercise in.
And being in the pool can do a lot of therapy. It's not just for the legs or the upper body. We can treat a lot of people and get them rehabilitated.
Oh yes, we can work on arthritis in almost every joint, neck injuries, back injuries. We work with orthopedic patients, fractures, joint replacements. We can do neurological issues, addressing stroke patients, head injuries, spinal cord injuries. We see pediatric patients also in the pool. So it's so many different things. We do arm exercises, leg exercises, balance work, strengthening, decreasing pain. It can target so many different issues.
Yeah, and this is a great facility right here on Mundy Street in Wilkes-Barre. And it's not just for the patients and the rehabilitation patients of Allied Services. People can come after their therapy is finished and continue using the facility.
Yes, once they're done with therapy, they can, for a minimal fee, come and do all the exercises that they learned in therapy from their therapist on their own. Or we also, for the community, we have a program that they could come in, and again, for another minimal fee, they can do a whole hour exercise program with an instructor that stays on deck. And they exercise every joint in the body.
So here it is. It's on Mundy Street. It's in Wilkes-Barre at the John Hines Institute of Allied Services. Thank you so much to Cheryl Kukinda, a therapist here at the Aquatic Therapy Center of the John Hines Institute. We'll be back with more basketball in the second half coming up. You're watching Allied Services High School Hoops on MyTV, WQMY.
Nice crowd on hand. Senior night here at Dunmore, and their Bucks leading by 10 over the Vikings. Bob-eyed Matt Schaefer, we are courtside. A good up and down game, Matt. As you mentioned, went pretty quick, good pace.
That's right.
A little surprised at the Bucks playing so well.
They shot well. You know, they're playing very good defense. They know who needs to score for Riverside, and they're trying to take them away. Reed has 5, Rickard has 5, so the defensive strategy is working for Dunmore.
It didn't work the first time, as Riverside did come back and won that game eventually, but you got to like the way they're shooting the ball for Dunmore.
That's right. They were up 15 at one point.
17.
17 at one point. Went into halftime. Now the key is going to be, does Dunmore come out and try to play with the same enthusiasm? Do they can they hit threes like they did in the first quarter where they hit 6?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those highlights. Both teams came out hot and shooting well. Antonacci getting things going.
downhill drive by Antonacci. Rickard with his only field goal of the game was a 3 from the top of the key. Kick out for Canise, another 3 for Riverside, and then Dunmore started. And Frankie Ruggiero hit 3 threes in 5 possessions, played well. Antonacci with another drive, had 9 in the first half. Borgia had 9, but he did it from the 3-point line.
As you can
Steve
see,
Borgia with his 3.
both teams like to shoot from the outside.
They do. Hang and hit by Antonacci, played very well. Tommy Doherty went to the basket hard, played really well in the paint. Then you had a nice drive in the full court by Todd Monahan.
Tommy Doherty again the leading scorer. He has 11 on the evening. Ruggiero has 9, Temperino 4, Cowder 5. Slowed off the bench, 2 late threes, shot the ball very well. He has 6.
That's right.
So at this pace, Dunmore's on up to put 80 on the board. I think would be one of the season highs on the year for the Bucks, who came in, 8-12 overall. They did put up 73 against Carbondale, about 4 games to go. But this may be the best they've played all season.
It is. The only difficult thing that they have going on right now is Borgia has 2 fouls. He came out and face guarded Mike Rickard. Off the bench came freshman Nico Ruggiero, and he went right back to the face guarding of Rickard. But Borgia's your heart and soul, and we talked about him before the game as one of our marquee matchup guys. He's a defensive guy, and he needs to make sure that he stays in the game.
Where you purchase your ticket. 125405.
So there is Dunmore. So if you're Josh Aniska, what do you want to see better in the second half from your team?
Well, I think you have to pick the pace up a little bit. You have your guards love to get out, and anytime that you can create a faster game, you create more shots. And the way that they like to shoot the ball, that's going to help them. All it takes is one drive and kick out, and all of a sudden the floodgates can start for a 3-point shooter. You saw it in the first quarter when Frankie Ruggiero hit 3 threes in 5 possessions, all on kickouts. Riverside can do the exact same thing, and they can get off to a run. If you're Dunmore, you want to play tough. The key on this game is defense. You have to make sure that you limit the 2 scorers. You did it in the first half. If you do it in the second half, you have a great shot of winning this game.
So the Vikings will get possession to begin the third quarter, down 10, 40-30. Michael Rickard will get the ball out of bounds. He has 5. Brennan Reed has 5. Those are the 2 leading scorers, averaging around 17 points per game each. Dunmore's done a nice job on the defensive side. Reed comes off, out of the locker room, firing a 3 and hits the back of the rim.
See Dunmore try to get out a little bit. I like that they're going to try to play through the post.
Borgia knew that wasn't going to go in, and it goes off of Reed.
It's a
Good
hustle
job
play.
by Borgia, the senior.
It's a hustle play.
Yep.
He's rewarded for his own hustle. And not exactly a great shot, but he just beats Reed to the ball. Reed had great position. Just have to finish the play.
Borgia's last home game as a senior inside. Temperino.
Temperino's playing really well today.
Back up to a 12-point lead. Canise firing.
He hit one of those in the first half.
Big board and got a friendly roll.
I like letting him play through that. We'll call that marginal contact.
Cowder no good. Going over to the Vikings and picking up the defensive pressure.
One possession at a time, and all you have to do is make sure that you can get yourself to the offensive boards. You see Riverside did that on this play. Canise gets his own board, goes back up strong, finishes it for 2.
He has 5. Back to Reed. Borgia face guarding Rickard, who still needs 14 points for 1,000.
Good ball movement. You see that Riverside's not going to try to change their game now. They still run one post. He's setting screens, trying to run your guards, trying to get them to the paint and create for your teammates.
There's Frankie Ruggiero. Slow down scoring-wise after those quick 3s, and we'll have a travel in the lane.
Would have been a charge anyway. This is good call on the travel, save him the foul. Good officiating by a crew there. Everyone held their primary. Nice kick out. Saw that one coming.
Oh,
got his feet
Got to
set.
find scorers, right? You got to find someone to score. It's down to 7.
Drive and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick. But Dunmore's going to try to go through the post. And he's playing well in the second half out of the locker room.
Here's Rickard. Monahan going to pick up a foul on Doherty. Doherty's second foul.
You have different philosophies as a team. Tommy Doherty forced him baseline. I don't know if he forced him or he just went baseline. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening there is you pick up the second foul.
Nico Ruggiero in for Temporino, so they go a little bit smaller now. Opportunity now for Rickard.
Catch and shoot.
Hit the back of the board. Good run by
Nice
Borgia.
find. That's a great pass. Borgia gets rewarded being the first one out on the break.
Good board by Riverside.
Kanice just keeps the ball alive. Monahan ends up as the benefactor of a tip on the rebound.
Okay, it's down to 7.
Hovered at 7 the last couple possessions. Doherty wants to take it over. Nice pull up from the free throw line. But here you go. Riverside wants to get out. Spaced out.
Reed
Nice
and
take,
Rickard.
kick out.
Yep. And can't get
Boy,
the
I
roll.
thought that soft rim was going to let it go.
Kanice got a finger on it. Monahan's there for the garbage. They'll take that. And it's down to 5.
2-possession game. All you got to do is play D.
Powder.
Cowder had a very nice run in the second quarter when they needed it. Really helped Dunmore continue.
The lefty, no good. Way off the mark. And now things falling apart slowly for Dunmore. Vikings, as you expect, making a run here in the third quarter.
Riverside's composed. You haven't seen them get high. You haven't seen them get low. You know, Dunmore's trying to take away your players, and you're doing a great job finding guys that'll shoot, hitting rebounds.
They are getting second chance opportunities, and they do right there. Hitting the boards on the offensive side very hard.
That's right. That's 3 offensive rebounds and 1 tip to keep it alive. You see here, nice kick out. Kanice, who's shot that ball well, but you get the smallest guy in the court gets the offensive rebound because we didn't get a check out. Antonacci's rewarded with 2 free throws.
1 for 2 on the night.
A little bit of a Lonzo Ball style free throw.
Shoots a high percentage, though, from the line, 84%.
Whatever works.
Dom Temporino back into the game, 6'3" junior. A lot of juniors on the floor for both teams.
This is going to be a nice little rivalry for the next couple of years. You got 2 young coaches. You know, you don't know what Kevin Clark's professional side is going to, whether he's going to be able to stay here for another season, but it's going to be some great basketball. Oh, great look.
Down to 1, it is.
Look.
It's a run, timeout.
Here you go, you got a timeout at the 4-minute mark. Coach Clark is trying to fire his guys up.
Full timeout, Dunmore.
No.
So we'll stay right here, just trying to figure things out. What a run, down to 1, 44-43.
You had quite a run by Riverside. Riverside's trying to stay to their game. One of the things that they're doing now that they didn't do in the first half is they're hitting the offensive boards. And every time you hit the offensive boards, you give your team the opportunity to score a bucket, get a foul, get another possession. And that's the difference so far in this quarter.
So 13-4 run, and here is what Riverside has faced the last couple of games. They did go on a 7-game winning streak after they lost to Lakeland before losing to Holy Cross.
That was a good game too, the Lakeland Riverside.
Oh, absolutely. Game. So some big wins in there. Obviously the win over Holy Cross is the key.
It's a great job so far. Now, if you're Dunmore and you're coming out of this timeout, what Dunmore wants to do is they have to score on this possession. They have to get a bucket here. Then they've got to go down to the other end, and they've got to stop Riverside. If they do that, Dunmore can take some of this momentum back and turn this into a 12-minute ball game.
So Kevin Clark called the timeout. Next whistle will be our media timeout, so we'll get a couple breaks in here. Let's see what Dunmore can do.
Gives Dunmore a chance to get one good possession.
They definitely have slowed down shooting the ball after coming out hot in that first half, really.
They look out of sorts.
A run by Riverside. This is why Riverside is one of the teams to beat in the district. Michael Antonacci for the lead.
That's a great take. They're just trying to spread him out, slow him down, and attack to a hip.
A 17-point lead in the first half. Riverside back in front.
It's the first time Tommy Doherty's touched the ball in 3 minutes. I would run through him as much as I could. He's your leader. He can score.
So now we'll take our break, 3:02 remaining. It's a tight one here in Bucktown. The home team leads by 1 in the third.
High School Hoops is brought to you by Concussion Therapy and Recovery at Allied Services. Trust the experts to help you or your athlete for a safe return to play. Call 888-REHAB-PA or search concussion treatment at allied-services.org.
So Riverside has come out of the locker room after halftime, gone on a 15-6 run. They had the lead momentarily in the third, taken back by the Bucks, but not unexpected though, Matt, when you have a good team like the Vikings.
They're both very good teams.
Yeah.
They're both very well-coached teams. So you knew that there would be adjustments at halftime, and the Vikings came out of halftime and adjusted properly. Not that Dunmore didn't. They just got cold from the field. Dunmore's going to try to pick up tempo, drive and kick.
That's big bucket
Cowder
for Cowder.
Big in the second quarter. He's big here. That puts Dunmore back up by 4. Riverside needs a bucket.
Well, they're within fighting distance, at least for Riverside. It was 17 in that first half. Good defense by the freshman on Rickard, and he'll go to the line.
It's a good take. One of the things I noticed on this play, though, is what they've done most of the game so far is they've allowed Rickard to be face guard in the corner, and now when he gets the ball, he makes one strong move, gets on the defender's hip and can get to the hoop, gets a foul, gets 2 shots, 2 minutes left in the third quarter. But the difference there is where in the first 2 quarters and half of this quarter, they've allowed Rickard to stay and be face guard and play 4-on-4. This time, Rickard came off to try to get the ball.
Rickard 3 for 3 on the night. He's going to have to earn some of his baskets here on the charity stripe. The way Dunmore's guarding him tonight. He hits the second.
Got 7 for the night. He's 12 away from the magic number. Tough one to think about when you have the chance to win the game.
Yep.
But it's tough. It sits in the back of your mind.
Nice drive by Nico Ruggiero.
His first bucket of the game.
Yep.
I like the way he's played, though. Traditional point guard. He's playing as a freshman. Strong. I mean, they're trusting him with the ball.
Here come the Bucks after the Rickard miss. Ruggiero sets his feet. Got it.
Good.
Downtown. Frankie Ruggiero.
They got a little run here going. That's 7.
Josh Aniska calls timeout. 1:35 left here in the third. Back up to a 7-point advantage.
Here you go. Nice kick out. Gets his feet set. Up and over. 3-pointer. Good. Gives you a 7-point lead. You got a $1:35 left in the third quarter. If you're Dunmore, you want to come out and you want to keep the lead going into the fourth.
Well, a lot of losses on the schedule for Dunmore. They've only won 3 of their last 10, but the way they're playing tonight, it can give them some momentum. Not only going up to Holy Cross next week, but maybe in the tournament next week in District 2.
That's right. You're going to see some familiar faces if you're Dunmore in the district tournament. You've seen them through the year. So if you can get a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum, you get a win early in districts, you could ride that to a 2 or 3 game win streak. All of a sudden you find yourself in states.
If you're Michael Rickard, he really burst onto the scene as a freshman. Showed he can really score the ball over the last 2 years. How much is he pressing now, do you think? Knowing he's getting face guarded, he's got to get the ball more off the movement, make his shots. He can't set his shots as much. He has to be more aggressive. Do you think he presses? Do you think he's pressing?
I think he's mentally strong enough that he knows that his team comes first. But it's hard. You're within a couple shots of a milestone. It's hard for that not to creep into your thoughts. But he's a very good player, very good shooter. He knows if the game comes to him, it's going to come to him, whether it comes tonight or whether it comes in their next game. He'll get it.
Reed going to be rewarded after the drive. And one of the reasons Riverside is playing so well is when teams have taken Rickard away. This guy right here has really stepped up his game.
Yep. It's a great take. We talked about Antonacci in the first half going downhill. Again, you catch the ball at the three-point line or you come off some type of screen. You square your shoulders to the basket and you can get yourself as close to the rim as you can. Gives you a better shot at scoring.
So Brandon Reed to the line for the first time tonight. He's gone there 108 times on the season, shooting 75%.
It's a nice way to get yourself a couple points every game is to get yourself to the paint, get yourself to the free throw line. Hitting 3 out of every 4 is a nice thing to do too. Tough part is you're putting Doherty on the bench with a $117 and his 3rd foul. If you're Dunmore, you need Doherty down the stretch in the 4th quarter.
So Reed hits 2 of those. He has 7 on the night, and it's back to a 5-point lead for the Bucks.
Put the ball in Frankie Ruggierio's hands. You're going to try to run some screens, some diversion offense, and then downhill if you can.
Borgia missed the layup. Recontrols the board, and here come the Vikings. Under a minute to play in the 3rd. Great battle here in Bucktown.
It is. What I'd like to see here is I'd like to see Reed and Rickard play a 2-man game because you can't help off either one. And they're both scorers. But again, downhill, Mike Antonacci, great take to the hoop. He's got 15 on the night.
Well, it's been a team effort for Riverside to keep them in it at least.
When you have 3 scorers like Riverside doesn't matter which one scores. You got, even though Mike Antonacci's only averaging 6 a game, he can go for 20. He had 15 against Nanticoke. He's played well the last few years. He's a senior and knows that he needs to make sure that he sets his guys up. Now, if you're Dunmore, you've got the ball in Ian Crowder's hands. You're less than 10 seconds.
He takes the shot off balance.
Mid-range.
Still a little bit of time for Reed from half court. Heave and hits the top of the rim. So Riverside makes an early threat. They actually take the lead, go on a run, and they've cut the lead to 3. Should be an exciting 4th here at the Allied Services High School Hoops. Back at Dunmore, the Bucks lead the Vikings 54-51 in the Lackawanna League Division 3 game. Bob-eyed Matt Schaefer, we are courtside enjoying a good one. The Bucks had a 17-point lead in the first half. It's dwindled down to 3 right now. The Vikings making a run late. Last home game for Dunmore on this floor. And both teams shooting the ball pretty well. A little bit high scoring, a little more high scoring than the first time they met, Matt. But a very entertaining game, to say the least.
Nice pace. You got a nice crowd, especially because it's senior night. Give them something to watch. This has been fun to watch. Well played.
Oh, Temporino starts the 4th quarter with a hoop in the arm. He'll go in to complete the 3-point play.
Nice baseline, posted up. It's a lost art. I've said it a couple times. I run a guard post big man camp, and the reason I do it is because people say, Matt, kids don't know how to post up. So that was nice to watch Temporino catch the ball, squared up, low base, strong core, make one move, get to the basket, and then he's rewarded with the free throw. More importantly, pushes the lead out to 6.
Up 6 now. There's that two-man game you talked about. Back to Rickert. Kenise has played very well. Hit a couple threes, so has Michael Antonacci. Monahan's contributed.
Monahan's played really well in the paint, doing everything else.
Great two-man game out front.
I like it.
Kenise. Oh, big three.
He's played
How
really
about
well
Collins,
as well.
the senior.
11.
He's got 3 threes, too.
3 threes. He's kept the ball alive a couple times. Been fun to watch. Cuts it to a 3-point game. If you're Dunmore, you need a bucket here.
Not double teaming. He's playing straight man-to-man.
Patient offense, though, for Dunmore.
Floater by Borgia. Oh, good job by Temporino. Here comes Rickert. Off the steal. 2-on-1. Takes it in. No foul call, but gets the bucket.
It's a heck of a take.
Back to a 1-point game.
Rickert's 10 away from 1,000.
Well, he did explode in that second half. But I think hitting 1.7 threes in a row at Holy Cross. Here he comes again. 2-on-1. No call again, but still gets it 2 in a row.
That was very good defense. I think Aiden Slode probably could have taken a charge, but he contested well. Very nice. Rickert made a great take to the hoop.
Riverside back out in front.
This is fun. Teeter-totter game, back and forth, up, down, up, down.
Playing physical. Borgia can't get it to go. No. They're letting them play here at Dunmore. Back to
Rickert's
Rickert.
got the ball again.
For
Stop,
3.
Pop. No good.
I think the whole gym would have exploded, especially on the far side, if he made that. The Vikings out in front. Inside. Temporino keeping his team in the game.
Couple of nice post moves. Let him go one-on-one in the post. It's been fun to watch. Here you go, another one. You see, it's obviously a foul by Kenise, although he started with good defense. As he turned, he didn't slide with the ball and keep what's called legal guarding position.
So Kenise has 4.
It's tough.
You keep him in the game if you're Coach Aniska with 5:33 remaining. He's been really part of the offense tonight.
I'd probably take him out to give him a minute, settle him down a little bit. The difficulty is he's your post defender.
Yeah.
So if you take him out and they want to continue to go through Temporino or through Doherty, then who's going to guard him?
Temporino getting back, they couldn't find him, so Doherty slows it down. Slowed. Got
Another
it.
one. 3 for 3 from deep.
I don't think he's missed, has he?
He has. He missed a layup early, but from the line, he's 3 for 3. And that's a big shot.
Off his leg, no kick call. Reed. Ruggiero was falling back. I don't even think he got hit.
No contact on it.
Nope.
I'd love to see the no call on the kick, but I don't believe the defender moved his foot. The defender doesn't make an attempt to kick or control the ball. It can't be a kick ball.
Well, if Riverside's tired, this is where it's going to come into play.
Oh,
good
great
look
look by Doherty.
Doherty to Temporino.
Temporino's living in the paint in the second half. He's playing well. It's a heck of a ball game. High screen. Rickert calls for a high screen. Looks like a contact. A little way to play through it if you're Rickert, though.
Neither team in foul trouble. I don't even have Riverside for a foul in the second half. Do you? Because of walk.
Riverside, you mean Dunmore for a foul. I don't. Riverside's got a bunch, but it's Kenise in the paint with a couple fouls. Doherty had a foul in the third quarter, gave him his third. That was a tough one.
Under 4.
Dunmore doesn't want to push any tempo.
Well, Good move on the baseline. Here comes the Vikings. Knies downtown. That would have been big as well. Up to Sloan. Elders pivot foot.
Ball was tipped.
Yep.
Here we go, another high ball screen. But again, if you're Dunmore, you don't have, you want to play patient. You want to play deliberate. And there's a difference between playing patient and deliberate. Deliberate means that you're just going, only if you get a layup, only if you get a one-on-one do you really want to use it.
We'll take a break. It's a timeout on the floor. 3:15 left in this one. The Bucks are going to die. The Vikings still hanging in. Definitely in Buck territory. Senior night here in Dunmore. And their team playing inspired, leading Riverside by 6, 66-60. Bob-eyed Matt Schaefer. Maybe a bit of a surprise, and maybe not. Riverside on the verge possibly of losing 2 straight after they won 7 in a row, Matt.
Tough one. You had a tough, hard-fought game against Holy Cross on Sunday. Short, and you're playing on a Sunday, which is odd.
Yeah.
Turn it around, you play on a Tuesday night on a one-day rest. And you're playing a tough Dunmore team on their most emotional night of the season.
Yep. So here are the Vikings. They had the lead a couple times in the third. Rickard inside the 3. He just can't get his outside game to go. He had that 1-3 to begin the game.
His form looks good. I mean,
yep.
He shot well, shot through the ball, was underneath, got high, good release point. Good post move.
Doherty tried to do that spin move again, but Temperino's just there. No one boxed him out.
Dunmore's tougher in the paint right now.
Now the whistle blows.
We have a foul on Temperino in a loose ball situation. Here you go. Nice battle. Ball gets on the ground. Down it goes. Yeah, that's a foul. That's a push. It's an easy call, actually. Way to get in there as an official. Slow that down. Mark Heiss with getting in there. Mike Amery with the call.
Riverside down 6. Don't need to start hitting threes. You just need to make some baskets.
Don't need to, but you easily can the way that they play.
Rickard double team. He loses the ball. Good defense by Dunmore. They'll try and push. Doherty feeling it.
Temperino trying to keep it alive, though.
I don't know if Kevin Clark wanted that shot. I think he wants to hold the ball a little bit. Reed blocked by Ruggiero. Now they'll hold it.
You see the whole Dunmore bench putting up the stop sign. Slow down.
Physical game. They're letting them play.
Oh,
Reed, good hands. Can't get the control. Stop.
ooh.
The freshman.
Boy, they are letting
Antonacci
them play
in there.
through some stuff now.
It's like street ball out there a little bit. No blood, no foul, is that?
I like watching that kind of ball, though.
Sloan!
Oh, my boy. Aiden Sloan.
Whoa! Off
Threes.
the bench.
I think Coach Clark did the no, nice shot.
Yeah.
Rickard tries to take it back. Calm everyone down on the Riverside bench. Here you go, kick out. Aiden doesn't think about it. Let it fly, kid.
4 threes.
Love watching him shoot.
So Michael Rickard, who came in needing 19 for 1,000, has 12 right now unofficially.
That's what I have, but
Yep.
I'm not a math guy.
More importantly, his team, if he makes this, will be down 5. This is where I think you have to start fouling. Dunmore not a very good free throw shooting team.
I'd start that process now. I wouldn't wait. There you
Coach Clark calls the timeout. A full. We'll stay right here.
Full timeout.
All right, you're a minute left. 5-point game. If you're Dunmore, although you want to be patient and slow, we talked about it earlier, you want to be deliberate. So if they give you a chance to get to the basket, you get to the basket and score. If you're Riverside, you want to try to get to the hoop as quick as you can. Your possessions need to be quick.
Let's take a look at district start next week. As we said, who's going to win 5A? I think it's anybody on that board. Walpaw obviously has the better record. Crestwood is on fire right now. They're going to play Wilkes-Barre for the Division I championship tomorrow night, and then they have to play the Wyoming Valley Conference tournament this weekend, or if Crestwood wins, or Wilkes-Barre.
You know, you look at that. Pawpak's tough, and they're
Yeah.
very good. But Abington and Crestwood are my sleepers. And then you've got Coach Al Semenza, the first-year guy down at Pittston.
You're right.
And one of the things that he's done every year is everywhere he's coached, they've continued to get better through the course of the season. So you could see some really good basketball in that last week of districts.
Don't even
especially
count
out
on
of
North
5A.
Pocono. Don't count on North
Never.
Pocono.
None of them, any of them.
No.
That's the beauty of District 2 basketball, is that there's no one that's head and shoulders above anyone on the boys' side. Great basketball every single night in every single gym.
Okay, if you're Riverside, do you start
You're-
fouling?
If you're Riverside, you go for every steal you can, and if you don't get the steal, you're grabbing for the ball.
Canese is the only one that really can't foul. He has 4.
And you know, this is a good time, and some teams will go what they call offense-defense, where you'll sub every possession you get the opportunity so that you can bring speed on the defensive side, or you protect a guy that has 4 fouls. Canese is playing well on the offensive side, so you want him on that side of the court, though. Either way, you have a foul here on Reed.
They're not in the 1-on-1 yet.
His second, Riverside's
That's
4.
Reed's second.
And only the
Riverside has
fourth.
4.
Yeah.
2 to give. They'll shoot on the third. You go for every steal you can.
Yeah.
Tip anything you can. Overly aggressive. They're going to run a double anywhere they can.
Slow thought about it. Thought Riverside should have fouled early on.
Frankie
stop the
Antonacci.
clock, yeah.
Foul called on number
Again,
25,
any
Frankie
steal you can. You got
Antonacci.
one more
First,
foul to
Riverside
give, so you
6.
have to go. I think I just heard them announce that was the 6th team, though.
I thought it was 5th. There was a foul in the backcourt.
This one's the 6th. Yep.
Yeah.
Foul's going to be on Frankie Antonacci.
Foul called on number 25, Frankie Antonacci. His second, Riverside 6.
So the next one, which you think would come pretty quick if they can't get a steal. I don't know if I'd foul him.
Ooh.
Close. So they'll foul Doherty. And Doherty is 56 of 78 on the year.
You know, the reason that they didn't foul Sloat is that's a scouting report. You know, we watched the JV game as we were sitting here, and there were a lot of fouls, a bunch of technicals in that game, and Aiden Sloat went 12 for 12 from the free throw line in the JV game. So that's probably part of the reason you lay off fouling that shooter. Front end of the 101's good by Tommy Doherty. That makes it a 6-point game, but that's still only 2 possessions. This is a key. If he can hit this free throw, extends to a 3-point game, and you're in the driver's seat if you're Dunmore. There it is. 7-point game.
I have him for 17 on the night.
Nice kick out.
Frankie Antonacci, no good. The board by Reed, knocked out of bounds. It remained Riverside ball with 20 seconds left.
You need a 3 off your inbounds pass and an immediate foul. In high school, even on a made basket, the clock's going to continue to run. Got to get a timeout.
Yep, but give the easy
2
basket.
for Frankie Antonacci.
This
30
very
seconds
well
timeout,
could be the
Riverside.
biggest win of the year for Dunmore. Over a team that's 13-7 coming in, and here's what we have. We have a couple weeks off. We'll pick it up with District 2 semifinal basketball on the 21st. Teams and sites to be determined, and then first round of states March 6th again. Teams and site to be determined.
There's a lot of really good games in that District 2, especially in the semifinals. Just looking, you've got some great competition in 3A, 4A, 5A. We don't really have a 6A group. Obviously, single A and double A as well,
Yep.
but 3, 4, and 5A in this area is going to be contested.
Was victorious over Holy Cross at the University of Scranton. Bucks.
One of the Bucks teams
One of the
beat
Bucks
Holy
teams was
Cross.
7th or 8th or something. But Dunmore beat the girls last night at Riverside. The boys tried to do the same thing in an upset here tonight on senior night. Quick foul.
Doherty's going to go to the line.
Yep.
You got 16 and a half left. Again, if you're Riverside, nothing's changed. You have to play quick here. Ball's got to get up the court in 2 seconds. Shots got to get off within 3. Once the ball goes through the hoop, you have to immediately call a timeout, stop the clock. If everything goes well, you've got the ball, you've got the clock stopped with about 11 seconds, maybe 12. Either way, Doherty's doing his job, which is to hit the free throws with the clock stopped. Puts all the onus on
Kevin Clark with a
Riverside.
smile. I think I might have small smirk.
Senior
17
night.
for Kevin. 17 for Doherty. Vikings chucking up anything they can. And the Bucks gonna hold it and pull this one out. A big win here on their home floor, the final home game of the season. They win it for the seniors, and it's a big one over the Vikings, 73-66. Tommy Doherty, I have us for 17. Dom Temperino for 13. There'll be our players of the game. We'll catch up to them. If Doherty for 19. Okay, Matt's math better than mine. When we come back, we'll have our players of the game. We'll give out our Allied Services High School Hoops Champion plaque, and that's on the other side.
You're watching High School Hoops, presented by Allied Services.
We're back at Dunmore. The Bucks surprised the Vikings, winning this one 73-66. Head coach Kevin Clark joins us. And Kevin, best your team played all year?
Yeah, I think so. I think we kept up the pace. We executed the game plan as perfectly as we could. Made some big shots down the stretch there. Kudos to these two standing next to me. Tommy had one of the better games he's had all year for sure. He was very poised, controlled, attacked at the right times. Dom controlled the paint and the boards for us, and tonight they did everything we had on the scouting report, which allowed us to win this game.
You have Holy Cross and then district playoffs. Hopefully maybe this gives you some momentum.
Absolutely. This is what you want to go into districts in a game like Holy Cross to end the season, especially at their place. If we can ride this momentum into it, like you said, I think we can make a good push toward the end of the year. Congratulations.
Let's bring your players in now. Tommy Doherty, 19 points tonight. Big win for you. How did it feel?
Well, it felt good to go out on senior night like that, so yeah.
You guys were hitting every shot in that first half. What inspired you? Was it senior night? Was it your last home game? What?
Yeah, just trying to go out on senior night with a bang, and I thought we played pretty well overall.
You did, and it was a team effort, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a team effort. Yeah, we played well together and moved the ball.
I know your friends over here busting you, but let's bring in Dom too. Big on the boards. What's this going to do for you guys, you think?
Hopefully we could take this win, carry this momentum into our last regular season game and into the district playoffs and make a nice run in the postseason.
Is this your biggest win of the year?
I wouldn't say biggest, but means the most. We have such a great group of seniors, and it meant so much to them to get one last win on their home floor, and it was just awesome to be a part of.
Okay, I'm going to try to switch hands here. It's our Allied Services. You can take this, Tommy. Allied Services High School Hoops Champion. Congratulations to the Dunmore Bucks with a big win over Riverside tonight. We'll bring Matt in for his final thoughts. Thanks, guys. Thanks to the crowd behind them. And Matt, a big win for Dunmore.
That was great night to have one, too, an emotional night. Senior night's a great night. To get a win, it's hard to play sometimes on senior night. Very nice game. Most they've scored this year. You wouldn't expect that against, on a night like this. But when you have a team like Riverside who likes to run, who likes to shoot, it gives you that opportunity. I think Dunmore played a little bit of Riverside's game, but just tried to go through the post offensively, and it worked for him tonight.
How about for the Vikings? They will rebound. They have Old Forge, a rivalry game, but they've lost 2 straight now after winning 7.
That's right. But all you have to do is just win the game on
Thursday. You beat Old Forge, and you can go into districts with a little bit of confidence. You've got to win 2 in districts to get to states. So if you're Riverside, the most important game you have is the next one you play, and that one's on Thursday against your rivals, the Old Forge Blue Devils.
Thanks, Matt. We had a good game tonight and a great time seeing Matt Schaefer with me on the sidelines. Our next game will be February 21st. We'll have District 2 semifinals coming your way right here on my TV. Teams and site to be determined, so we'll announce that next week. So a big win here for the Bucks on senior night. Dunmore upsets Riverside. The final score once again, 73-66.
High School Hoops, presented by Allied Services.